Hey everyone, and welcome. We're going to dive into something that's, well, absolutely critical in today's digital world, IT security. We'll break down how a really powerful set of tools can become your organization's best line of defense. Think of it as turning a potential weakness into a huge strategic advantage.
So let me ask you something, and be honest. For your own organization, if something went sideways right now, like a weird file shows up or there's some bizarre network traffic, how long would it actually take for someone to even notice? Are we talking an hour, a day, maybe longer? Because that little gap in time, that's exactly where the real danger is hiding.
And let me tell you, this whole landscape, it's not getting any simpler, not by a long shot. We're talking about an environment where the threats are constantly changing, constantly evolving. And this isn't just some tech problem for the IT department to worry about. No way. A single breach can be a massive risk to the entire business. I mean, it hits everything, from your finances all the way to your customers' trust in you.
So, how in the world do you fight back against all that complexity? Well, that's where the hero of our story comes in. It's a strategic approach called ITOM, and we're going to see exactly how this becomes your security's secret weapon.
Okay, so what is ITOM, really? Let's break it down. IT Operations Management, or ITOM for short, is basically the command center for your entire IT universe. I want you to picture it like that. It's this suite of tools that gives you a complete, bird's-eye view of everything. Your servers, your networks, your apps, all of it. And from that one spot, you can manage, monitor, and tweak the whole shebang.
When you boil it all down, ITOM's job really has three main parts. First, it proactively manages all your digital stuff. Second, it's like a 24/7 watchdog, always keeping an eye on the health of your systems. And third, it's constantly optimizing. And not just for speed and performance, but, and this is the big one, for security.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The key word here isn't just implementation, it's strategic implementation. See, this isn't about just buying and installing some new software. It's about building a foundational piece of your security framework. It becomes a core, essential part of your entire defense strategy.
Okay, so we've got a handle on what ITOM is, but the big question is, how does it actually work? How does it protect an organization in the real world? Let's open up the ITOM security playbook and see how this idea gets turned into real, concrete action.
And honestly, the difference in the approach here is it's night and day. The old way, totally reactive. You basically waited for an alarm to go off, and then everyone would scramble, go into firefighting mode to fix the problem. The ITOM way is the complete opposite. It's all about being proactive. It's about spotting the smoke before there's a fire, using automation to swat down threats instantly, and get this, even predicting problems before they can even happen. So what are these proactive capabilities? I like to think of them as ITOM's security superpowers. You've got constant, 24/7 monitoring. Then there's behavioral analytics, which is super cool. It's what spots anything that's just off, like a user logging in from a totally weird location at 3 a.m. It can even use predictive models to try and guess where the next attack might come from. And it automates one of the most critical security tasks out there, patch management.
Yeah, let's talk about patching for just a second, because it's so important. An unpatched system, it's literally like leaving a window wide open for a burglar. ITOM automates the whole process of finding and locking those windows. It's constantly scanning for any new vulnerabilities, it downloads the right fixes, deploys the updates, and then checks to make sure it all worked. The ship analogy is perfect. It's like having a crew that's always checking the hull for tiny leaks and patching them up long before you ever start taking on water.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you know if it's actually working? Well, that's the beautiful thing about ITOM. Its impact isn't just a vague feeling of being safer. You can actually measure it. Let's take a look at how you can literally put a number on your organization's safety.
You've probably heard that old business saying, right? You can't improve what you don't measure. Well, that is so true when it comes to cybersecurity. And that's what ITOM gives you. It provides the hard data and the metrics you need to turn your security posture, which is just a fancy way of saying how secure you are, from a fuzzy concept into something you can actually measure with cold, hard numbers.
All right, so the first big metric to know is called mean time to detect, or MTTD. And it measures one really simple thing. How long does it take you to even find out there's a problem? I want you to think of it like your digital smoke detector. The second a threat appears, how fast does that alarm start blaring?
And obviously, the goal here is to get that number as close to zero as you possibly can. A shorter MTTD means you're finding threats way faster, which dramatically cuts down on the potential damage they can do. I mean it when I say every single second counts.
Okay, so metric number 2 is mean time to respond, or MTTR. So, after the smoke alarm goes off, how long does it take to actually put out the fire? This measures how efficiently your team can jump on a threat, neutralize it, and get everything back to normal. It's basically the speed of your digital fire department.
And when you put it all together, the impact is it's undeniable. You can see it right here. Without a solid ITOM strategy, that response time is sky high, and that leaves the whole organization vulnerable for longer. But with ITOM in place, all those automated processes and that clear visibility, it leads to a dramatically faster and way safer response. The difference really is stark.
Now, I want to be real with you. Implementing a system like this isn't always a walk in the park. There are definitely some real-world challenges to think about. So let's touch on those before we pull back and look at the big picture.
And let's be honest, organizations run into hurdles. Getting the budget approved can be a real fight. Finding people with the right skills is always a challenge. Trying to get these new tools to play nice with your old legacy systems, that can be super complex. And of course, there's the whole maze of regulatory compliance you have to navigate.
But, and this is the final, most important point, despite all those challenges, making this happen is absolutely essential. Aligning your ITOM strategy with your actual business goals isn't just a nice to have, it is fundamental. It's how you build resilience as an organization and make sure your company can not only survive, but actually thrive when faced with these constantly evolving threats.
So I'll leave you with this one essential question to think about. When you look at your own IT infrastructure today, is it a business asset that's actually driving you forward? Or is it a hidden security liability just waiting to cause a problem? Because really, the answer to that question might just determine the entire future of your organization.